Okay, hi. So this will be my last vlog for the course. Okay, so what in the very beginning of the course, Dr. Power asked us to basically have us start thinking about what we wanted to do for our culminating activity. And at that time in the beginning, I thought about doing D2L. And then what happened too was an opportunity came up with the Computing Organization of Ontario, ECHO, and they were looking for educators who were interested in presenting at their ECHO Camp Ontario, which was a virtual camp. Usually it's held in a city in Ontario, but because of the pandemic, it's being held virtually. So I thought, okay, this is a great opportunity. And I thought about submitting my application to do D2L. And, and the reason for that is because basically our board has pretty much decided that if a teacher is going to be teaching online, they have a choice of two LMSs, either D2L or Google Classroom. So I thought about using doing D2L, but then later on I changed my mind and I thought Pear Deck would be a better tool because Pear Deck I find is very easy to use for teachers. It's integrated with Google Slides and Google Drive. And, teachers are, especially in the York board, are very familiar with Google Apps for Education, G Suite for Education. And so, what we learned about in Dr. Power's course, the TAM theory basically is one of the key determinants of whether a teacher is going to adopt the technology is perceived ease of use. And so because they're already familiar with G Suite. Now in the workshop, what I did too was in planning for my workshop, I also allocated time for teachers to basically um, create their own slides, their own Pear Deck slides. And the reason for that is because if they, by by using Pear Deck themselves, they'll find out how easy it is to use. And then they're less hesitant, when September comes. And the good thing about Pear Deck is I was using it in my own classroom, my blended classroom. But then, Pear Deck can be used with a synchronous tool, such as in our board, we use Google Meet. So you could use Google Meet with Pear Deck in order to present it. So you could, these are the slides from the presentation I'm planning to use in August. So I found out on Friday that my proposal was accepted. And so you could see here, like, for example, the educators, they would drag the dot to basically what they teach. And I did target this workshop for grade 4 to grade 12 instructors. And one of the key good points about Pear Deck is it is so interactive that I can see, get feedback about uh, what educators feel or what their situation is. So, for example, if I had like 20 educators in this workshop, I would see all these dots scattered around, and then I would know, should I be tailoring my workshop more to um, secondary teachers or more to intermediate teachers. And so I can get instant diagnostic feedback. The other thing too is that Pear Deck allows you to draw, and so this is also very interesting because um, in doing a presentation, it's important for it to be engaging. And actually, I find that when educators are using the draw function in Pear Deck, they tend to have a lot of fun drawing. The other point is that with Pear Deck, educators can see what other educators put. So this is a form of feedback too. Like it's where educators are getting feedback to each other. And another benefit is it's giving all educators a voice in this presentation. Because a lot of times when you don't have interactive tools, there might be participation, say, for example, maybe only two educators would be giving some feedback. And then it's important to know, what the goals are and what educators want to learn from the session. And what I did too is like it's important to have a hook, and so I play a video and it introduces Pear Deck. So that's the bridge activity. And so here you can see where I demonstrate different templates in Pear Deck, making it educators more comfortable. They get to play around with the tool. And here you can see, like in Pear Deck, they have multiple choice functions. And so here's more. And what's really important is that critical thinking is encouraged, and you can see like with this slide, and so it's important that educators understand that it's not just that basically it's you get to test higher order thinking from your students, and so when going through this presentation, you can see that it gives me an opportunity to sell um, the app in terms of what the benefits are, and that's so important. And so it connects to one of the challenges that educators have, and that's the whole issue of engagement in the classroom. Educators are always looking to increase student engagement. And so I would go through what the benefits are and then see, what experiences, how experienced these educators are with Pear Deck. And so these are beginning activities and you can see, like I've included examples from different disciplines so that educators, no matter what discipline that they teach, they can see that it is something that is helpful for them. And so you could see, like, I already have in mind who my target audience is. I'm expecting educators that are early adopters. So, and that's why they're getting involved in a tech conference in August when they could be doing something else, because they are looking for the opportunity to adopt new types of technology. So it's that makes my job easier in order to encourage, you know, more educators to adopt the technology. And so here are more examples of, different slides. And the key, again, is engagement. And then the other big selling point is getting students to critically think and also making sure that all students have a voice, even the most quiet students. So this is the point where I have educators actually try it out. And I'm very fortunate that I'm going to have a moderator, and the moderator is going to help me arrange breakout rooms so the educators can try it on their own and find out how easy it is, and that they can work on their own slides. And you can, and here I can, it's demonstrating basically how to get started right in the very beginning. And here's the slide library to show educators that, it's not like you have to create all these slides yourself. There is already a library to select from. And it's quite a good selection. But then you can also make your own custom questions. And then I included other um, resources. And in Dr. Power's course, he emphasized too that, with the lesson plan, the sample that he gave was the BOPP sample plan. And the last part is to make sure that there's opportunity for students, and this case, educators, to be able to do a post assessment. And so the educators in this case would be doing a post assessment using the hash on Twitter, using the hashtag ECOO Echo Camp Ontario. And then so it's an asynchronous basis, and it gives the educators time to reflect on what they learned in the workshop, and then come up with deeper questions that they have, and I would be able to answer it at a later point. So you could see, like, I was really impressed with how this course, right from the beginning, Dr. Power's course made me think about where the goal was, the end in mind. And then what he also did was he made us do an infographic, and that tied into the infographic that we had to do for the poster presentation. So you could see how basically everything was really planned out, just like in the Dirksen book, how we as instructors, we have to remove all obstacles, you know, so making it easier for us, when we're riding our elephant. That's the metaphor we use in Dirksen, in order to get to our goal and not give up. And so that's what I try and do in this presentation. What I learned from the course is that I make it easier for educators, that help them realize, for example, that it's Pear Deck is not so difficult. You have a lot of scaffolding, which Dirksen also emphasized, like providing scaffolding, letting them know that they have all these tools already that they know and that they can use, like Google Slides, in order to be successful. And that's the key. When students or educators are motivated, they're more likely to succeed. And Dirksen talks about, how important it is to get education.